Hey everybody, welcome to Lesser Saints of Discord. I like sweet and salty nuts. I love how it green screens out the logo.
That's really convenient, actually.
They're not
We here at the
sponsoring
Lesser
us.
Saints are not sponsored by.
Yeah, but these are the cashew ones.
I
It
want
even,
it.
even does it on the individual bars.
That was not expected.
Unintended jokes are the best. All right.
As Bob Ross always used to say, no mistakes, just happy accidents.
Yep. All right, now sponsor us, mystery brand. Because I
Your
can
bars themselves may still be green screened out, but we'll hover the logo right over it. I'll just be sitting here going,
Yeah, well-
"Oh, stop moving it so much, Jables! Stop moving it!"
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
No, it's just like little to the left, little to the left. Nope, nope. Right. Good.
Yeah, Rimshee put me in a weird spot.
I was talking about the
I
bar,
did
but
not
it's
shove you in a
amusing.
garage.
I was
It's
literally
amusing.
adjusting my camera as
It's
you were saying that.
amusing. Oh my
It
God,
was
that
the
was-
right directions.
That was so unintentional. Again, happy accidents.
Ain't that a hoot? Oh, and because of the blur effect, it like blurs everything out too. Cool. Well, now that we know about that.
We have fun here.
Wait, but does it do it? I know this is going to get partially green screened. Oh, yeah, it gets blurred out too. That's cool.
What's you drinking here, Jables?
It's an Elysian Space Dust IPA.
Mhm.
Emporium, how's it going?
I have a 7-Up into this summer.
You have a 7-Up?
Specifically endless summer flavor. It's a
What does that mean?
watermelon. It's a watermelon and strawberry soda.
That sounds pretty good.
It is good. I like it a lot better than 7-Up.
I found out the other day that there's ranch Cheez-Its, and I was trying to get some today. But they were out.
Oh.
I haven't tried them before.
You know, like, it's
But-
funny. I don't like the dressing, but I love ranch flavored foods.
I like the dressing on everything, but I also
Yeah, the
understand that it
dressing is
tastes
generally
nothing,
pretty good.
But I also understand that it tastes almost nothing like the flavoring that's put on all the foods.
Yeah, I like both of them.
Like my favorite wheat thins for a long time were the ranch ones.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I
I
ended
could
up
see
going with
that.
white cheddar Cheez-Its. I ended up going with white cheddar Cheez-Its instead. Which are-
Classic.
They're so good. First time I had them when I was a kid, they're like crack. Couldn't
I tell you
stop.
what, though, they released 2 new flavors not too long ago. They have a smoked Gouda and a smoked cheddar. Both of those are awesome.
I thought about getting the smoked Gouda, but decided to go with the standby.
Yeah, not a bad choice, but I recommend the smoked Gouda and the smoked cheddar.
Okay. I like Gouda. I'll give it a shot. I like cheddar.
I've got Cheetos in the pantry, but figured I got these. They're mango
Oh, really?
peelers.
Before anybody starts, this is not a derailment because we haven't even really talked about anything yet. So fuck
It's not a
you.
derailment. It's how we started.
Yeah, huge difference. But yeah, peelers. They're just basically a gummy candy.
Yes.
If you hate yourself enough, you can actually peel off the outer layer of... I'll see if I can do it. My wife likes to do this for some reason. But, you can...
I don't know, man.
Okay,
Like,
I'll do
fruit
it this way.
candy's pretty hit or miss.
You can actually peel off the outer skin of it. As if it were a mango.
Oh,
Interesting.
that seems kind of lame.
And now my son
Why you
wants some.
hadn't-
You want mango?
Why
There you go,
hadn't worked
Bubba.
My treats. The only peelable treat. should
You're
be spring
welcome.
peas, 'cause that's just fun.
What about fruit roll-ups?
I wouldn't call that peelable.
Well, you have those ones that you can split down the middle. You remember those, right?
Yeah, and the ones with the shapes and stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
those ones are acceptable. Because you can like stick them to your face and stuff for a bit. during
Yeah.
lunch. Yeah.
And piss your parents off because now they have to clean your face.
Well, no, you do it at school, like a proper age child. Yeah, those should only be
you
allowed.
assume I was
those
ever
should
at
only be
school.
allowed like. Those should only be allowed after sports games and school lunches.
And like
be allowed to have those at
challenging
home.
yourself to like peel out the star shape without fucking it up.
Oh god, that was
You
always
always
a
fuck it
pain in the ass.
I knew
Because there
one
was
kid that
always
was
one
really
corner
good.
that was way too thick.
I knew one kid that was really good at peeling those shapes out. Yeah.
If he was
Yeah, but
that
the
good, he
stars
probably had an
especially were
exact
the
on it.
bastards.
My mom used to, she wouldn't really put, like, notes in my lunch or anything. Lame like that. She used to just put, like, a sheet of, like, 10 jokes. To just tell at the lunch table.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's some awesome mom behavior right there.
Yeah. It started with, like, she'd just give us, like, one or two. And then it was like, that's not enough time to fill a half-hour lunch period. Here's 10. Yeah.
Oh crap.
Yeah, it was awesome. Because then if there's ever a dead spot, what jokes do you have today? Boop, boop. Now that I think about it, that explains a lot.
I got you.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing as soon as she started talking about that.
Yeah. So, Vimpair, are you like getting the notifications on time now? Or are you following us other places to see the notifications?
We're
Because
just
if
curious.
Twitch fixed something, that's cool, but I haven't seen shit. Speaking
Twitch
of
doesn't
which,
fix stuff.
yeah, they've
They
still
only
got
do damage.
Hassan on there.
Oh, so you just happen to be watching Twitch while we were... Okay.
Oh, I don't have it on my phone.
Cool. Wait, did I get a notification? That's the real question.
Lesser Saints of Discord got a notification about YouTube. I haven't seen a single notification from Twitch.
Nope, I did not get notified from Twitch either. Like 10
we
minutes
didn't
into the show,
announce in the
Twitch.
Discord.
Yeah, we did.
Did we? I don't see it.
Look at show announcements.
June 16th at I did it a full minute early. Shame on me.
Yeah. For shame.
It just means that Discord didn't flash me a notification when it happened. That was rude of you, Discord.
And I do it in 3 locations. I do it in the community. I do it in Writer's server, and I'm pretty sure it's abandoned, but I still do it in the advanced to the rear server.
Nice.
Yeah, that server's dead.
Yeah.
Did they
Pop
just stop
admitted
doing
as
it?
much the last time he was on.
Yeah.
Why?
Why is it dead?
Why'd they stop doing it?
Because Pav was the only person doing it, and if I remember right, he was having issues with his sphincter at the time.
Ooh, booty problems.
They're not good problems to have.
Yeah. I mean, prison does shit to people. But,
Are you sure it didn't just fall off a cliff again?
Not this time. The cliff fell into him.
Vampire, for your notifications, I started making a mental note of it. It was always at least an hour that you'd pop in. So maybe you'd get it at the 30-minute mark, but it was at least an hour until you popped into the show. So I'm assuming the notification was about an hour. Okay.
Alternatively,
Anything else, you guys?
you could always pop into the server and get notified when I announce. Although with that, should I start doing at everyone's for the show announcements?
Sure, why not?
If people don't like it, they can just, adjust their notifications.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Do you at here's?
At here's.
So it's people
All right,
that are
fair enough.
online. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to edit this one because, well, it won't change it. It will make it so that moving forward, I can still just copy paste.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you guys look now, it's edited to at here. It won't show anything. It'll just be like, oh, I clicked on it. Now it's saying I'm tagged. Okay.
Yeah.
But
It's
no
a
notification.
I do hate that if you add a tag in an edit that it doesn't tag that.
Like, on the one hand, I get it. But at the same time, fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, adding it in an edit is so much more purposeful than just writing it out in the first place.
Yeah.
So. All right, what do we got for topics? We're talking upcoming movies and TV shows.
Yes,
Unless
we
you
are.
guys want to... I don't have a lot of ice cream
I guess we can
truck stories
also
right now.
cover recent releases as well.
Well, we'll start with the stuff
Damn
that's
it.
been announced. How about that?
Oh,
Let's
I do
start
have
with-
one.
Go ahead.
I have one ice cream story, but we can do that later if we need some time.
I think, yeah, give me a moment. I gotta go. Talk for a moment. I gotta deal with the kiddo.
All right, I'll do it now. So I go to this one apartment complex to to sell ice cream. I'll just go hang out there. And there's this little girl there that's obviously impoverished. It's the same little girl that asked, like, is there anything I can do for an ice cream? Is there something I can do?
Oh, so this is the sequel
one.
story.
Yeah, this is a sequel story. Part 2. So I'm there the other day, and she can't afford an ice cream. Whatever. She's like, are you going to be around a while? I'm like, yeah, I'm driving real slow through the parking lot. Relax, kid. And she goes and she, like, runs around and, like, talks to some people. And then, like, this guy comes up and he buys a bunch of ice cream for himself and then, like, just gives her the change. It was just, like, $1 change. She's like, all right, can I get something for $1? I'm like, normally, no, the cheapest thing's $1.50, but this one time I'll do it. Okay? She's like, okay. So, transaction occurs. $1. I throw in my own 50 cents. I'm still driving, still, like, just cruising through the parking lot, helping a bunch of people. And it's like 5 minutes later, and there's, like, a crowd of people starting to build because, like, one person stopped me, and that's just how ice cream trucks work. One person stops you, then everybody just starts coming up to it. And she starts asking everybody that's like, hey, can I have your change to buy something? Can I have your change to buy something? And I'm just like, all right, hustler. All right. And then everybody's telling her no. And then they start dispersing, and she's like, hey, can I get another ice cream? I dropped mine. It's like, I didn't see you drop it. She's like, okay, I'll be right back. Are you going to be here a bit? Like, okay. And she runs off, and she gets $1 from somewhere. I don't know. Probably pickpocketed somebody. She comes back with $1, and I was like, I told you it's $1.50. And she's like, but you did it before. I'm like, I told you I was doing it that one time. You already got your deal today. She's like, fine, are you going to be around a bit? She runs off. She eventually finds another $1. I don't know who she's running off, and I don't know if she's knocking on doors. I don't know what's going on. She finds another $1. I get her ice cream. But it's still just like, she was annoying everybody, including me, because she was just constantly like, you going to be around a while? You going to be around a while? And then, can I get $1? Can I get $1? And it's like, and she's like intense and talks really fast.
Like, I feel for
like,
her. But
I already gave her a deal that day.
Yeah.
She didn't need another one. And yeah, she's probably going through some issues at home. There are obvious signs of that. And also the apartment complex that it is. There's probably some, like, bad parenting going on.
Yeah.
You know, she has, like, an entertainment quality about her that she could probably be a pretty good Twitch streamer without doing anything nefarious. Just personality alone. She's got, like, a personality to her. Yeah.
Yeah. But as certain top individuals on this side have proven, you don't need to have a personality to get it big here. Just got to know the right people.
Yep, you just gotta blow the right people.
Nepotism's a bitch.
Or, if you're old school, like Tim Pool, you just need to have a brother who learned how to manipulate Reddit.
I mean,
You guys know that's how Tim Pool started, right? Other than writing for Vice.
Yeah, it was Vice and actually going to locations and live streaming.
Well,
it.
he got the
Those
job.
were-
He got the job at Vice because he was already sort of doing like freelance writing articles, and he was getting a lot of hits on those articles because his brother learned how Reddit worked in a very specific way to make your stuff always hit the front page. Yeah. That's old school algorithm manipulation. And possibly using bots. Who knows? Alright. On to fun stuff.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be fun though? Is
I don't
it
know.
Really?
We'll see. Well, first up is the Spaceballs 2 trailer.
Yeah, the
'Cause
teaser.
why the fuck not?
Yeah, they're making a Spaceballs 2 after 30 some odd years.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play it.
I think this is like so
They've
like it's
also
slated.
only been talking about it for 30 some odd years.
But just like really quick, it's like this is slated for release in 2027. It's just like Mel Brooks is going to be 98 in 2027.
99. He is 98.
I have
he
some-
will be 99.
I have some comments about that, but that's for the end of the teaser when we actually
Finish
see
this.
that part. I want to talk about the rest of it first.
we're gonna
Yeah.
let this crawl. We'll stop and talk about stuff as we get there.
Yeah.
Well, like one of us actually.
So,
All right.
Rimshee, that's you because there's a delay on our end.
38 years ago, there was only one Star Wars trilogy. But since then, there have been a prequel trilogy, a sequel trilogy, a sequel to the prequel, a prequel to the sequel, countless TV spin-offs, a movie spin-off of the TV spin-off, which is both a prequel and a sequel. Not to mention 2 Dunes, 7 Jurassic Parks, 2 Avatars, plus 3 upcoming Avatars, making 5 Avatars. 36 MCU movies with 2 different Robert Downey Jr.'s. DCU attempt number 1, DCU attempt number 2, an animated Lion King, a live-action animated Lion King, a live-action animated Lion King prequel, 8 Harry
Yes, I did
Potter
that.
movies.
Okay,
A
that's the one
TV
I have a problem with. There's 7
What?
books.
Yeah.
The 8 Harry Potter movies. It's 7 books. Give them a break on that one, guys. But yes, I understand. The whole bit is all of these long series of movies.
Yeah. And if you want to get technical, they're not including the 2 or 3 Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Those
because the
technically aren't Harry Potter.
vast majority of people, it's in the same universe.
A TV series remaking the same 8 Harry Potter movies. A whole streaming service of Star Trek.
Yeah, Paramount Plus.
Plus.
Yeah. Paramount Plus has Star Trek and South Park specials.
Yeah, that's the only things worth watching on there.
Well,
Going in,
There's a
I'm
couple
sure
other
once
things.
you're on there, there's stuff that's worth watching. But going in, the only things really
There's like
worth
5
watching
there's-
on there.
that's like half of the things worth watching. So don't even.
7 Alien movies, 2 of which were also Predator movies, not to be mistaken for the 6 Predator movies that are not also Alien movies. 1 Prometheus, which is kind of an alien movie. 4 Beatles movies? That's the joke.
It's in the same universe, but aliens don't actually show up in the movie.
Didn't they have?
Yeah, it's
a
an
face
alien origin story movie.
No.
I could have sworn they had a face hugger in the in Prometheus.
That is called the Trilobite, and it's different.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
supposed to be an Aliens prequel movie, but there's no aliens in it. Not true aliens.
Also,
at least.
But
all of the tech is better than what's actually an alien.
Yeah.
also 4 Beatles movies. I get that. That's a bit excessive. I think there's more than just 4.
Yeah.
But-
And Oppenheimer.
Still haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
I heard
Yeah. But in 38 years, there has only ever been one Spaceballs. Until now. Yes.
After 40 years,
Thank God for that.
we asked, what do the fans want? But instead,
Look,
we're
really,
making
really
this
old Mel
movie.
Brooks.
Yeah.
That's great, though.
I have
After
to stop
40
myself from
years, we
saying
asked,
Mel
what do the
Gibson.
fans really want? But instead, we're
The
making this movie.
Schlatts Awakens.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to stop myself
May the
from
sh-
saying Mel Gibson all the time because I've talked about Mel Gibson a lot more than I talked about Mel Brooks. But
May the
Mel
Schwartz
Gibson's done a
with
lot of
you.
stuff for me to make fun of. So that's... But
He's made some interesting comments about Mel Brooks people in the past.
yeah.
True.
Yeah, he has. Some would say he was trying to send a message with Passion of the Christ. But Mel Brooks looks great and sounds great for his age.
Yeah,
He didn't
I
sound
mean,
like he was reading a
let's
teleprompter
just
or anything.
let's back this up a little bit. I would
Well, yeah,
not
it's like,
guess he was in his 90s.
Late
It's-
90s.
It's like anytime anybody.
Yeah, I would not guess he's in his 90s at all, let alone 98, almost 99.
Yeah.
It's like
He's-
the comparisons made between William Shatner and Patrick Stewart.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
Patrick Stewart looks like he's going to turn to dust at any moment, but he's several years younger than Shatner.
Yeah, but Patrick Stewart also looked old at 27. You know?
You know, I'm sure you know about this, but funny thing about that, they were trying to make a wig work on him. They were trying to make a wig work on Patrick Stewart, and it just wasn't working. And he's like, you know what? Fuck this. In the future, it's not about curing male pattern baldness. You don't care about it anymore.
Yeah.
Primary, good enough for me.
Plus, he always had the great cul-de-sac, or the horseshoe, as some people call it.
Yeah.
I've switched over to calling it the cul-de-sac, because I heard a comedian that I like say that, and I just really like that a lot more.
I like it a lot more than the horseshoe, too. The horseshoe
Yeah.
feels like a very different sort of thing.
Yeah.
A horseshoe
feels like I'm
feels
talking
like it
about
should
a-
just be a thin line, not
Yeah.
like, hey, from here down. No. This is a cul-de-sac. If all you've got is hair like right here, that's a hairstyle
Yeah.
choice, and that can be called a horseshoe.
Yeah, like those old friars that would always be bald on top and kind of had like the undercut.
Yeah, exactly. That
Yeah.
I was personally glad when it all went away because, like, in early TNG, it's just like, man, the guy's got head stubble. It's weird.
No, I've always been a fan of the cul-de-sac, probably because of Patrick Stewart, because he just makes it look good for one, and maybe it's a nostalgia thing because I just grew up watching TNG.
I mean, of all guys, he makes it look good.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you compare that
He
to
makes it about as good as you could hope.
you compare that to the young looking Mel Brooks. I almost said Mel Gibson.
It's
I was
not
stopping
even-
myself.
Yeah, see?
It's because of you, Jables. But you compare that to Mel Brooks. I might say he's in his 70s. Late 70s.
I'd say he's like...
I could see 80s, but I would never guess that he was in his late 90s. Almost 100.
But there's also like how he's sounding, how sharp he's sounding. He's not just decrepit old man reading something in this game.
Yeah, that's the other thing about Patrick Stewart nowadays.
After 40
He
years.
sounds old.
Yeah, Mel Brooks
So-
sounds the exact same.
We asked, what do the fans want? But instead, we're making this movie.
Maybe a little more raspy. Just like the slightest bit more raspy.
Yeah, the funny thing is,
he's a
in my
bit more
opinion,
he's a bit more raspy and a little bit more tired. But he's
Yeah.
fucking 98. I'm gonna give him a pass on that.
On both of
it's,
them.
Is it now he can play yogurt with less makeup?
Yeah. Yeah,
he
just
can,
some paint.
he can play yogurt. He can play yogurt with less makeup and with less
Without
having
being
to do
on
an
his
effect
knees.
on his voice. He also doesn't have to try so hard for the voice.
Yeah.
He's actually grown into the role.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's hilarious.
Oh man, that's good.
But yeah, this teaser was funny, but also like just watching all that stuff scroll by and thinking about us, like, God, I'm depressed.
Yeah. So this came out 36 years ago. So what? 89?
87.
87? That's more than 36 years.
Yeah, it's 38 years.
Did it say 38?
So if it's releasing
38,
in
right there.
2027,
Okay. I misread it.
it's going to be releasing on this movie will release on the 40th anniversary year of the original movie.
Nice. I dig it.
That is
Plus, it
pretty
gets
cool.
Rick Moranis back in the game.
Like that was absolutely intentional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rick Moranis is the primary reason I will go see this in theaters.
Has Mel Brooks done anything since like Men in Tights?
Not
Not
like, he
directly,
did
I
show
don't
up
think.
as a regular guest in Curb Your Enthusiasm for a couple seasons.
I'm talking about like him making something.
Him making something? No, not really.
No, I think he took a hiatus
I know-
because his
I know
brand of
he's-
comedy disappeared. Or became disallowed.
Yeah, I know
or
he's
something.
helped produce a couple things, just to sort of like get the ball, like help somebody out, get the ball rolling on like a good comedy movie.
Yeah, like he's been basically semi-retired for decades now.
Yeah, but he's still so sharp. Like he has to have still been doing something. How sharp he is. He's still using his brain, obviously, for something. What is he doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, even if that was scripted.
I think maybe he's just joking with his friends.
like, I'm gonna play it again.
After 40 years, we asked, what do the fans want? But instead, we're making this movie.
That's like, even if that was written down and scripted, his delivery is way too straight Mel Brooks for it to be just he's reading off a teleprompter.
Yeah. And hold on, I'm looking for edits.
I mean, he looks better than fucking Eastwood.
It's not. It's a straight thing. No, it has the energy of just straight up him. I'm just saying it.
Yeah. It has no. It doesn't look like there's any edit, no cut, no multiple takes. I mean, it may be multiple takes, but they were
Maybe
single
multiple,
takes each
he probably
one.
stumbled over something, but you know that's not unusual.
Yeah, that's not an unusually high amount of multiple takes.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like he's worn out from doing too many takes, and he finally got one right.
It's honestly such a good delivery. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like the first or second one.
Yeah.
I would suspect it's probably like the third or fifth, somewhere in there, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
They probably did 10 takes and went with that one, but...
Yeah, but it's also like the type of energy they did 10 takes because he wanted to do 10 takes and pick the best one.
Yeah, well, I don't mean like they went with the 10th take. If they did 10 takes, I wouldn't be surprised if they still went with like the first or second one, just being like, it was all the same, so why don't we go when he was fresh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And for all we know, these were just takes off the top of his head, and each single take was just him rambling for a moment. And it's a different statement of how to introduce the film.
Yeah, and by the way, I do want to mention, I'm not basing my whole opinion of how Mel Brooks is now on just this one little clip. It's also based on a bunch of testimony of other people that know him that get asked in interviews about him, and they're like, yeah, he's still just sharp as a tack, blah 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 blah. And like, those are the types of things that you're like, I'll believe it when I see it. And then I saw this and I'm like, he still got it. All right. We're good.
Guy still looks good.
Dude has just aged. That's about it.
Yeah.
And gracefully considering his age.
Because he's about to be as old as Betty White was when she died. And she was starting to
raise that specter.
Huh?
So can we not raise that specter?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Anyways, I want to know what he's doing. Like, is he just like eating healthy and just hanging out with friends all the time, joking and laughing, having a great time, like he should?
Like he deserves.
Is that what he's doing? Is he playing solitaire? What does he do in his free time? I'm very curious because first Mel Brooks film I ever saw, it was either Men in Tights or Spaceballs. Oh, weird thing. My parents introduced me to Men in Tights. I don't know if it was before or after watching Spaceballs, but the first time I watched Spaceballs was the first time. It was that same birthday party that I've told you guys about, where my buddy Mario introduced me to Mitch Hedberg and Dane Cook. It was that same birthday party. We watched Spaceballs that night with pizza. Yeah.
Just to their comedy.
Oh yeah, not in person. Just like showed me like their bits and stuff.
It must have been a surreal experience eating pizza when Pizza the Hut shows up on screen.
It was actually very funny for like a 12-year-old. It was. I remember having the thought, I wish this pizza was hotter, so it was as goopy as Pizza the Hut is, because that's awesome.
What brand pizza was it? Because if it wasn't Pizza Hut, it's not as good as it could.
Because this was this was out in the boonies, so it was probably Papa Murphy's, a take and bake pizza.
I mean, that's a little disappointing, but I totally get it.
And, you know, it's
You do
wild.
what you can do.
It's wild because in Spaceballs, towards the end of the movie, like there's a brief like comedy bit. John Hurt is in the movie, and they recreate the scene from Alien.
Not
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, that's a great moment.
But
I was
it's like me and Jables had opposite experiences here because I saw Alien before I saw Spaceballs.
Yeah. I grew up watching Spaceballs.
Yeah, I saw
was like,
Spaceballs
yes, I
before I
finally
saw
get it.
Alien, so I was like, oh, okay, I don't fully get this.
But I just love John Hurst where he's just like, oh no, not again.
Yeah. And I was aware of the Alien movies, so I was like, I was aware that stuff like that had happened in those movies. So when I saw Spaceballs, I was just like, oh, that's a weird thing that happens in that movie. Like,
Yeah, I'd seen stuff related to it before I saw Spaceballs, but I didn't make the true connection because I hadn't seen the original movie at that time.
mm. Well, I think I asked somebody, is like, what's that a reference to? And they said Alien. I was like, cool, got it. Because I watch a lot of like movie reaction channels and stuff, and I see way too often people just like, why was that funny? And it's like, well, it's a reference to this, and it's always like, if you don't get it, it's obviously a reference to something. And a lot of the channels that I end up following are the ones like, I don't get that reference. Could you tell me in the comments what it's to? I'll watch that another time. Those are the types of people that I follow. Like, that understand that it's a reference, but they just don't understand it, and they're just like, I want to know what that reference is. Because I understand that it's funny, but I don't get why it's funny right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like even like knowing about it, like because you've seen it now,
Yeah.
you've had the experience.
Well, that bit saves itself from anybody that doesn't get the reference from the alien doing the Warner Brothers frog thing.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, at my age, I probably shouldn't have known about that. But just because I was too... It wasn't my time, but I watched old cartoons. My parents had this VHS. It was like 8.5 hours of old Warner Brothers cartoons. Had like Superman, bunch of like Looney Tunes stuff, all sorts of stuff. Just 8 hours of it.
Did he have the chicken or the soup?
Yeah.
Man, we should watch that sometime
Never
soon.
mind. Cancel my order. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I really hope they don't recast Mog.
Yeah.
Who was played by John Candy. He's dead now.
That was Barf.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Barf. Yeah, he was a Mog.
Yeah, he was a Mog. He was named Barf.
Yeah.
Because he was a man dog.
Like
he was a mug.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I hope they don't recast him. The C-3PO lady. I forget what her name was
Oh.
in the movie. I know who played her. Joan Rivers played her, but
Yeah.
I forget who she was in. I forget the character name in the movie.
Joan Rivers, it was fucking vicious.
Yep. And I think I know who the next Joan Rivers is going to be, so I'm pretty confident about it.
Oh, look at that.
Hey.
I type it in and it comes dot matrix.
Yeah, Dot
Damn it!
Matrix.
Fuck. In my head, it's like it was Dot, wasn't it, or Dottie, and then I didn't say anything.
Yeah. You should say things because we're on a show. Yeah, Dot Matrix. So Joan Rivers is dead. I mean, there's a way you could do it, but I don't think it'd be right, and I don't think Mel Brooks is the type of person to do that.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
Unless it feeds heavily into a comedy bit, I could see that working out.
Yes, if there's like a sort of like fourth wall break reference to the change, then yeah, he'd probably do that.
Yeah, I don't see him pulling what they did with Peter Cushing and fucking Rogue One.
Oh no, I don't think he'd do that. Mel Brooks is oddly a purist. It seems from his movies. He also hasn't done anything in 30 fucking years.
Yeah, so it's hard to tell for sure. But like, I could see him doing some of this shit that would be exactly what the Writers Guild and Actors Guild and all that stuff was fighting against, specifically for commentary purposes. In a way, like he'd get all the proper permissions and all that stuff, but doing it, I could see him doing it in a way just to poke fun at it.
Yeah, like his reason for doing it would be appropriate and funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Also,
like
just
Robin
the fact
Hood,
that
like Robin Hood Men in Tights. The opening sequence is fire arrows being shot on these thatched roofed huts.
You know, your standard Robin Hood opening scrawl.
Yeah, and just one of the villagers comes out and is like, every time they make a goddamn Robin Hood movie, they burn our village down.
Who's making this one? Mel Brooks. Screw you, Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would be something like that.
Yeah.
Why is this AI now? It saves money. Let's get the real guy in here, and then he just walks in through the other room, or something. Like the teleporter gag from Spaceballs 1, when they try to teleport him, and he's just like, "I'll just walk there," and it's just immediately the next room.
Or when they're watching themselves.
Yeah.
Man, honestly, I hope this thing isn't a flop. I hope it is true Mel Brooks.
I hope they just let him do what he wants to do. And it's just...
Dude's got the clout to do that.
He does.
But...
He's had the clout since the 70s to do that.
Dude, he's got...
And this is going to be his comeback.
Yeah, if this... I could see him... Like, if he sticks... Like, he obviously not the same jokes or anything like that. But if he sticks to the same sense of humor, I think we're gold.
Yeah.
But even so...
I absolutely... Especially in this day and age... In this day and age, I absolutely do not want this man to pull his punches.
Oh, fuck no. You send him. Especially since like I said, if he maintains that sense of humor, he could throw a punch that most people don't like. And it would still be fucking funny because a lot of people have a sense of humor. Oh, Y2's over on YouTube telling us stuff.
But yeah, it's just like if I'm Mel Brooks, it's like, What are you gonna do? Try and cancel me? I walked away from Hollywood for like 30 fucking years. You think I give a shit what any of you people think?
Yeah. And like, yeah, and by the way, I'm looking at my phone because that's where I have YouTube chat pulled up. Yeah, or it's where I had YouTube chat pulled up. What the fuck? There we go. Yeah. Yeah, he also used to do a very South Park type thing where he would make things worse than he actually wanted them so that they'd allow him to do things that he wanted to do to get past like rating boards and stuff.
Yeah. Like the Animaniacs
I
writers
think-
back in the 90s.
Or to get past like producers reading over scripts. Like, could you
I
calm this down a
think
bit?
that-
Oh yeah, totally.
I think Brooks has enough clout that he could just put exactly what he wants in there and get it past those.
Well, especially now, like he can self-produce this entirely and be no issue. Plus, there hasn't been like a good comedy movie in such a long time. Most movies incorporate comedy nowadays.
Yeah, like I
Um,
think they
Every
were talking
Marvel
about that
movie?
on Open Bar actually just this past week. And they're
Yeah.
like, what's the last like actual comedy movie that Hollywood did that was good? And everybody's like, Tropic
but it's always
Thunder?
like action comedy, like Keanu or yeah, there hasn't been a lot of straight up comedies in like I'd say the last like 10 to 15 years.
I wouldn't say that,
Well,
but
I said there hasn't been a lot.
Only because there haven't been. Just because they haven't been successful does not mean there haven't been many.
Well, the thing is like the comedy used to be one of the most reliable money makers for Hollywood because they were comparatively cheap to make.
Yeah.
Well, no, most comedy movies end up making their money on the back end in DVD sales. So when DVD sales started going down, they stopped making all their money. That's where comedy movies like really, because you'd a bunch of college kids buy or rent a movie for like the weekend. Hey guys, we're gonna get drunk or stoned and watch this funny movie. Now it's just
Yeah.
Clicking on Netflix and there's
Got it.
the money's not there.
God, I hate streaming.
Yeah, that's how fucking Clerks got successful. Was it just became a cult classic being sold on VHS and then later DVD. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, Y2K, you have a point. If they do dot matrix, that would be the AI bit. Because it'd be AI Joan Rivers.
Yeah, I could see that. That would actually be pretty good.
Yeah.
And then have like Dot like do something like realizes what's going on and then just like immediately puts herself into an incinerator or something.
Or Dot becomes the villain that's about to destroy the universe or something. Because it's AI. I'm sorry. I'm tired of the AI destroying the universe sort of trope. That was done in the last Mission Impossible movie, and I fucking hate it. Movie was awesome overall, but the whole premise of it, I was just so fucking tired of.
Yeah,
It's all there is
honestly,
now. It's all
I
everybody
could
talks
see. He'll obviously, if he were to do that,
It's what ruined
let's
Halo.
assume for a second that he is making Dot Matrix the CGI character. he'd already have he'd probably also do the AI voice and all that stuff, and he'd get the permission from the Joan Rivers trust
Estate. Yeah.
And like obviously they'd have a say in how big of a role it is. I'd keep her a relatively small role.
Best bit for that. Dot Matrix is about to go evil, and somebody just walks over and unplugs her. Best bit.
Or like another funny way that you could do is like they
Turns
bring
you
in
off.
Dot, but instead of having like an approximation of Joan Rivers' voice, she just has like your generic shitty AI woman voice.
Yeah.
The one with the inappropriate pauses that doesn't pronounce things quite correctly.
Yeah.
What's up with your voice, Dot?
That would be funny.
Dude, but there's always a trick. So when it comes to like AI voices, when they don't pronounce things correctly, I always catch myself. Is this AI or Canadian? Yeah.
Fucking YouTube is infested with fucking videos now. They're just AI voices reading AI generated scripts.
Yep. Yeah, Moist Critical did a video on that recently.
Such garbage, man.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're bad at like outlines and structure and stuff, but you're good at like all the details, sure, use AI to help you with your script to like build out the structure.
Get Melissa Rivers to play Dot.
Melissa Rivers?
Joan Rivers'
Is
daughter.
that Joan Rivers' daughter? Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be great.
Oh, and there's a mosquito in here. Little bitch. Tried coming for my blood. You're gonna get drunk and die. Alright. Yeah. Is it just gonna be like a whole... Well, it can't be a whole new story because there's still Darth Helmet.
Yeah,
This
the
is
teaser
obviously
pretty
gonna
heavily
be-
implies. And we
Yeah,
know Rick Moranis is a part of it.
I saw the article that Rick Moranis was reprising his role as Dark Helmet before I knew that the teaser was out.
But
I also like how
keep
like
in mind,
the mask has like a band-aid and shit on it.
yeah, I mean, here's the mask. I don't know why it disappears when I go to a different window, but it's got the Winnebago, and the mask is damaged, so they're definitely going to be making fun of the Disney trilogy. Like, this implies heavily that this was brought on by the Disney trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah, like... Well, no, because they've been talking about making a Spaceballs 2 since the original prequel trilogy came out.
Yeah, they've been talking about it, but they haven't done
I'm just saying,
either.
like, if
They
if
even
the
talked about it
tagline
in
for this
Spaceballs the
movie-
movie.
if the tagline for this movie is not Spaceballs 2: The Quest for More Money, I will be very disappointed.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Don't let
they
me down,
could
Mel.
Still get... I'm looking at the cast for the original Spaceballs right now.
Yeah, Bill Pullman's still around. He's not
Yeah.
really doing anything.
And he's looking good.
He was in that shitty sequel to Independence Day.
You know,
Wasn't he in the
he's
original
actually,
Independence
his
Day?
son is going to star
Yeah.
alongside him in Spaceballs too.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, wait. Okay. Rimshee, can you, like, link me, but also pull up
Yeah, his son was actually
the confirmed
Sentry.
cast for Spaceballs 2.
All right, give me a moment
His
to
son-
find it.
His son played Sentry in the Thunderbolts movie. Bill Pullman's son, anyway.
Yeah.
Also, Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell.
Okay,
as,
so far all I'm
fucking,
seeing is Rick Moranis, Bill Pullman, and Keke Palmer, and Lewis Pullman.
Yeah, Lewis
Yep,
Pullman
Lewis
is
Pullman.
Bill Pullman's son.
Okay, so only 4 confirmed cast members.
Yeah, as far as I know.
What role is Keke Palmer gonna play? If they're picking her early, that's new princess for Lewis Palmer's character to go after.
Daphne Zuniga is. It looks like she's reprising her role as well. Princess Vespa,
Okay.
according to
But you
people.
know, like, might be a controversial take, but
Oh, this is gonna be an Amazon's thing. What?
Spaceballs had the hotter princess. Fight me.
What, between Spaceballs and Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Jewish ladies.
Also, I would
I
like to think
yeah,
that Lone Star will get a better send off than Han Solo did.
yeah, but knowing Mel
Either that
Brooks, it
or
might
it's gonna
be
be
worse.
just as bad as a joke, and it's gonna land better.
No, it might. No, it's either gonna be a better send off or it's gonna be a million times worse. It's gonna be like the whole crew stabbing him or some shit.
I stand by getting Joan Rivers' daughter to play.
Or he gets beaten to death by a golf club. Reference!
Yeah.
I just love that, like, Neil Druckmann fucking. He made The Last of Us Part 2 and had that scene where Joel gets beaten to death with a golf club and everybody fucking shit on it. And then he does the exact same thing again in the TV show. And even the people who were just watching the TV show and hadn't played the game completely shit on it. Fuck you,
Yeah.
Neil. Your story sucks.
It's either going to be a more respectful death or he's just going to die by plugging in that giant hair dryer.
Or he appears exclusively in flashbacks
Yeah.
where he's just old for no reason.
Or somehow he's like a force ghost or something.
A Schlatts ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yep. I have some faith for it.
Okay,
Because
'cause
the
the way you
original
were
creator is involved.
The way you
Yeah.
were saying, the way you were talking about it before the show, you were like, I have some thoughts. Made me think that you hated the teaser.
No, like,
Uh,
it's, like the as I said, like the thoughts that it generated in me was just like all the stuff that they mentioned in the crawl. When I stopped and thought about all of it, I got really depressed.
Yeah.
Especially
yeah, I
like
thought you were
when
not going to be happy about it either.
especially when
Yeah.
it got to like the 7 Alien movies thing, I'm like, oh, go.
And some of them were
I
also
mean,
Predator
if it-
movies, and then the 6 Predator movies that also weren't Alien movies.
It looks like John
if
Candy
it weren't
also
for the
has a son
fact-
named Chris Candy, so maybe they get him to play Barf, or Barf's son or something.
YGK, I was really hoping for Spaceballs 3, The Search for Spaceballs 2. And they deliberately lampshade all the plot holes by referencing stuff that happened to the movie that they didn't make.
Yeah, his son Puke would be perfect. Get Chris Candy to play his son Puke.
Yeah.
But yeah, like,
I have
I'm
faith
so
in Mel Brooks.
if it weren't for the fact that I'm just so checked out at this point, like the realization that that Alien Earth series is coming on Hulu, and the fact that they're making a sequel to that god-awful Alien Romulus movie that came out recently, I would probably just drink myself into a coma.
You can still do that.
Well, I said, if it weren't for the fact that I'm so checked out at this point, it's just like, I can't even really be depressed anymore. I just don't feel anything.
This is also the first time I've been like legit excited about a movie in a very long time.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. I was raised on Mel Brooks.
This is a guy that made legitimate comedy films.
Yeah. And a lot of them were parodies. But it was like, I remember growing up on Mel Brooks, and then I'd see like the scary movies. 1 and 2 are fine. 3 starts to really go downhill. And then I'd see like other parody movies, and it was just like worse and worse and worse. And I was like, Mel Brooks did this so great. How can parody movies be getting worse if you're just building on the shoulder of giants? Like,
legitimately, some of the worst fucking movies ever made. Epic movie.
yeah,
Disaster movie. Meet the Spartans.
Well, I think the difference is a lot of these parody movies were made to make money, not to be funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas
Well,
Mel
also
Brooks
just like-
did not compromise on that. He knew the money would come if he made it funny. So he just focused on the funny.
Mel Brooks also did he went I want to make a Robin Hood movie. What's a funny way to do that? Instead of, here's all these little things, what can we make fun of? And so we just have these small individual scenes that happen to be funny. He wrote like a cohesive story. And it was
fit
funny.
in all these comedy moments.
Yeah. It's like his parody movies are like if you're looking at them through a telescope and it's not in focus. And so you're seeing everything wrong and hearing everything wrong. And then that's sort of where the funny comes from.
Yeah.
I hope that's a good explanation for what I'm thinking about this.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, you compare that to the modern day, or I don't want to say the modern day because they're old at this point, but the last era of parody movies, and it was just, hey, we're going to make a joke because we have to be funny. We're going to make fun of this
I say,
thing.
you know, like, the guys on Open Bar, they're just like, you know, like, what was like the really the last great big budget Hollywood comedy that was actually funny, and most of them just like it was probably Tropic Thunder. That was probably the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder.
And part of it is
I'm
it
sure we
told
talked
a
about this
legit
before.
story. Tropic Thunder told a story. And they made it funny after the fact. Like, yeah, the story itself is funny. But it was crafted with enough care to keep it consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the point. You're not just mocking it. You're crafting your own story with these elements, and then jokes also involved elsewhere. But the
jokes
overall has
flow
a
from
story.
there.
Yeah.
Any inconsistencies, like in Spaceballs or in Robin Hood Men in Tights, prime example here, the Patriot Arrow moment just before the Patriot Arrow. I lost? Wait, I'm not supposed to lose. I'm Robin Hood. Pulls out the script.
Yeah. Or another good one from Robin Hood Men in Tights. It's like, what makes you worthy to kill a king's deer and a blah, blah, blah. He's like, unlike most Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent. And that's just like an instant dig at Kevin Costner's Robin Hood.
I mean, say what you want about this movie.
But
it did give us Sheriff Hans Gruber.
You have the story, and then you just put in the jokes where they fit.
Yeah.
That's a good way to make a parody.
Yeah.
But you have the story.
The story can be funny on its own. It can be a story written to be funny. No issue there. But you have to realize, if you're making a parody, the majority of the comedy is going to be from making fun of other shows. And you have to start with the initial comedy story and see where you can fit stuff in. You don't start you don't start with fitting stuff in and then make it a story.
Yeah, like space. Since we can do this with Robin Hood Men in Tights as well, but let's do this with Spaceballs right now. The whole story of Spaceballs is Darth Helmet is trying to suck out. Well, it's not even Darth Helmet. It's the Emperor stand-in.
The president.
I forget what they call him. Is it? Because he's the governor in. It's Mel Brooks' character.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's the governor in Blazing
It's
Saddles.
President Scroop.
Yeah, President Scroop is trying to create a monopoly on air, and Druidia is just an air-abundant planet because they have all those trees, and he's trying to suck all the air out of that. And so
yeah, they have the freshest air in the galaxy.
Yeah, because they want to can it and sell it as Perrier.
The scene of him opening that air can in his office and just
yeah,
God damn it!
And he's just sniffing the air. Yeah,
yeah. I guarantee you that Perrier
and
joke.
when they open the door, he acts
well-
like he was like doing hardcore drugs and tries to hide it.
yeah.
But like, I
Well,
guarantee you that scene, that
also
joke with
within that story-
Perrier came well after the story was written, and someone thought about Perrier compared to Perrier, and just thought, "Oh, this is funny. Let's find a place to fit it in."
Yeah, but also the reason why he's trying to hide that he's doing the air is so that he can hide that he's a corrupt politician that's keeping a lot of the air for himself. That's also part of the bit.
Yeah,
It's like a 7-layer bit.
yeah, so many layers.
That's just cracking a can and going, and then
But
hiding
like I
it
said,
real quick.
I guarantee you that joke was not part of the original set of jokes. It was something they had the story, and they thought, "Oh wow, this play on words is funny. Where can we fit it to the best effect?" And they found a spot that could add 7 layers to that single joke.
Yeah, and it was all about, like, they figured out the villains and their motivations and what they were going to do, the reasons why they were going to destroy the planet because they destroyed Leia's planet and stuff like that. It was about building parallels, but still having your own story, and then you sort of filter in these scenes a little bit that make it even better and funnier. Instead of Scary Movie 3 or 4, when they just have like an alien just like piss in somebody's mouth for no reason through their finger. And it didn't make sense. It was just a thing that happened. It was just a gross out joke.
Oh, here's another thing is like a lot of people who didn't grow up during the era or didn't actually watch any of these films is like parody movies didn't necessarily have to emulate like specific other movies.
No.
Like the biggest example of this is Airplane.
Yeah.
It was just parodying like the disaster movie genre that was common at the time.
Yeah, there were a lot of specifically airplane disaster movies at the
But
time.
you also had things like the Towering Inferno and the Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah, and by the way, do you know why Leslie Nielsen initially started in all those movies? Because he was a very serious actor before.
Yeah, I know he was. I know
getting
he was.
involved in all those comedy movies.
Yeah, he was a legitimate, serious actor.
Yeah, it's because he was kind of curious in comedy, and the first one that he did, I forget which one he did because it was before my time. So forget, it might have been Naked Gun, or was it Airplane?
I think it might have been Airplane actually, because the joke in Airplane is that while everything else is going on around him, all this craziness, he plays his part deathly serious.
Well, that's the whole thing. That was actually the director telling him they picked him because he was a serious actor, and they wanted him to play it serious. And like he started like trying to be comedic and like goofy and stuff like that, and like, no, play this like you would any other role, deadly serious.
And then fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And it looks like Airplane was the first film.
Yeah.
But like the goofiness,
he tried to goof it. He tried to
was
goof
good
it up a bit, and they told him just play it seriously.
Like I said, like it worked for Airplane, but you know, like he was really good at actually doing goofy as well. Because like Naked Gun movies, very fucking goofy. Dracula Dead and Loving It, very fucking goofy shit.
No, but he's playing it straight while he's doing goofy stuff. He's not being goofy. He is doing.
Yeah, his delivery is a lot more believable.
He is seriously doing goofy things.
Yeah,
that's yeah.
Well, no, like
that's what
I'm specifically like saying, like if you watch the Naked Gun movies, and like especially Dracula Dead and Loving, it's like his facial expressions. There's a lot. He gets a lot more animated the more comedy movies that he did.
Oh yeah. By the way, one of my favorite scenes from the Naked Gun movies is when he just goes up to somebody to talk to them, and he goes to pull out his badge, and it's just this long flipboard of credit cards and like family pictures that like just start tumbling out. I don't know. It's just so funny.
It's been so long since
and then he just closes it and just stuffs it back in his pocket.
Or the Naked Gun.
Huh?
Or like fucking give an old boy that trashy romance dime store novel so they can wake everybody up to evacuate them.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch Naked Gun. I need to rewatch Airplane. I need to rewatch Police Academy.
Oh god, Police Academy movies.
Yeah. I haven't seen all of the Police Academy movies. I think I've seen the first 2. Maybe 3.
But that's actually another great point of comparison. Is the trailer for the new Naked Gun? I was not impressed.
No.
I am hopeful, but not impressed. Because I know, here's the trailer for the new Naked Gun. There's a scene in Ted 2 when Liam Neeson is, by the way,
Buying
Liam Neeson
tricks.
is taking over Leslie
Yeah.
Nielsen's character, essentially. It's
Yeah,
his son
he's
or something
supposed
like
to
that.
be his son.
Yeah, it's supposed to be his son.
Yeah, but there's the whole like buying trick scene in Ted 2 that I think Liam Neeson can make it work, but it also depends on the script and everybody else around him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because that was the other thing with Leslie Nielsen, especially in like Airplane. All of these people are taking this seriously. They're doing goofy things, but they're not being goofy. That's the whole. That's where
You're not
all of the
treating it as
comedy
goofy.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
and even there's a lot of
One
stuff
of my
that, like,
favorite
Keen-
recurring jokes in Airplane is the air traffic controller.
Yeah,
I have a
Hell of
drinking
week to stop
problem.
sniffing glue.
yeah.
I have a
Oh
drinking
no,
problem.
the drinking problem was the pilot on the plane, and he just. couldn't
I
get it
know,
to
but
his
that
own-
He
it's
just
same
throws them in
concept.
his own face. I mean, the best joke in the movie is probably the little girl, but
Oh yeah, I like my coffee black, like my men.
it's like, damn.
Or the old lady that speaks jive.
Yeah.
Or the other old lady that gets like really incensed that the guy offers her scotch and then does a line of cocaine.
Yeah.
God, Airplane is so good.
Or the autopilots.
Really? Have you ever been to a Turkish prison?
Yeah. Or even one of the simplest bit. Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. That's
Classic.
the don't call me Shirley is perfect. It's a perfect bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Like, the one thing in the new Naked Gun trailer that I kind of got a chuckle at was the one guy looking at when they're like all paying respect to the pictures of their fathers, and you got the one guy looking at the picture of O.J. Simpson. He's just like, nope. It's like, okay, that was mildly funny.
I haven't trusted a trailer since like 2010. So
Well, yeah, because like sometimes I wonder why these movies don't get hit for fucking false advertising.
yeah.
Like, recently with Thunderbolts. Like Taskmaster, she is not in the movie. She dies within the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And yet she's in all the
the-
promotional material, and like she actually shows up in shots in the trailer that she does not show up in the movie because she's dead.
I rewatched the last Airbender trailer for that original live action movie that shall not necessarily be talked about except for in this moment, but other than this it does not exist. They sped up the fight scenes in the trailer.
Yeah.
That's- yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the worst one was the actual in-movie footage of the first time you see earthbending. God, that was pathetic.
Dude. Not only are you imprisoning earthbenders just in a valley full of rocks, but it takes 8 of them to push one rock?
Yeah. Well, like,
when also immediately before
no, like
that,
one
you see
dude,
a guy
one dude launches the rock. You just got the other guys doing supportive, interpretive dance in the background. It's like, what the fuck?
No, those 7 other guys bring the rock up, and then that one dude pushes the rock.
Oh, that's right.
And then like 2 seconds before that, you see one guy bring up a whole rock wall, but that never happens again. It's just this one time.
And like the 8 guys with the one rock, like it happens. Like the firebender guy that actually is like, dude, you could have just sidestepped that. Like if you had just started to walk right as he launched it, you would have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it. Yeah, I think
That movie
comedy
hurt
movies
Jables
are gonna...
on a deep personal level.
Huh?
So that movie hurt Jables on a deep personal level.
It does. One of my favorite things to do is find reaction channels that have watched the entire Avatar series and then watched that movie and then watched their reaction to that movie because
like,
they need to hurt the way I did.
Know my pain. Know my pain.
I saw it in the theaters with a group of friends. We timed it out so we could marathon through the entire series, and then after we finished the finale, we'd go to the theaters and go see that movie, and we all left sad. It was a bad day. We were so hyped. That's why I don't get excited for stuff anymore because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, like most of my theater experiences, like over the last 10 or so years, have been really negative. Because it's just like, went to see Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies. That wasn't any good. That movie sucked.
Moving back here, back to my parents' place, I was super excited because there's a really decent theater, just like, classic theater, no reclining seats, no dinner service, anything like that. I moved back, found out they closed down during the pandemic.
Oh.
And it was a relatively newly built theater. Like, it was built in like 2008, 2009. So it was like, new enough to not be shit. And
I do like them reclining seats, though.
they had a little bit of a recline, but like nothing major. Like, you're not laying down. But I come back and I'm like, sweet, I can go see movies again because it's right down the road. And it's not going to cost me $70 to go see a movie by myself.
That's actually the reason I don't watch movies in IMAX anymore. It's like, why would I pay extra to have to sit through this movie in a much worse chair?
Oh. That's another thing. One of the original IMAX theaters was opened in Spokane. And that's closing down. If it's not closed down already.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to go on school field trips to like watch crazy high-def documentaries. Because not a lot to do around here.
Yeah. I remember me and my dad going downtown because there's an IMAX screen down in downtown Indy. There's another one that's closer to Showplace 17 now.
Mm-hmm.
But we originally went to that one downtown, and it was on that IMAX screen that I saw Batman Begins for the first time. And that
Nice.
was an awesome experience. Because, like, having an IMAX sound system when the bats come in, holy shit.
Yeah, like a true IMAX sound system. There are theaters that claim IMAX, and they just had the bigger screen. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Like the one in Spokane. It's in downtown, and it is exclusively just an IMAX theater. Like it was when IMAX. It was made when IMAX first came around, and then they upgraded it through the years and stuff as better technology came around.
Yeah.
But it
Should we
was
touch on that other
exclusively
thing we were
IMAX.
thinking about bringing up?
Which one? King of the Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, getting antsy in your pantsy.
Well, we're getting close, and I mean, we have drifted away from Spaceballs a bit. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not that it's bad topic or anything. It's just, why not? Apparently,
Yeah, we
King
can-
of the Hill also released a trailer.
Yeah.
Look who's here!
Yeah, I'm excited.
Hey, Bobby, come give your old man a big handshake.
Nowadays, dad beers tell stories.
Bobby, beers don't need to tell stories. They
Yeah.
just need a fridge to keep them cold.
Fuck you,
Nobody
though.
likes a warm beer. The end.
Razor had a pretty
I'm gonna give
hilarious
you a 4.
notification on
That way
like,
it
his
gives you
recent
something
game
to
stream,
work.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like Hank Hill's like, oh boy, I can't wait to hang out with. He starts like listing names, but like stopping halfway through. So I can't wait to hang out with or John Red.
Yeah.
Work towards.
You just hear a
guy
gunshot
that-
at
the guy
the
that
end.
played
Need me to
John-
take over
yeah, the guy that
since
played John
I'm a
Red-
professional
Yeah,
now.
Scott.
Professional comedian, if you think I'm
Yeah,
gonna let you
fuck,
take over
man.
for me.
Yeah, do you know the story behind that?
No, I didn't really look into it.
So a lot of the articles just said voice actor who played John Redcorn died in dispute with neighbor. What happened was
I didn't even see that. I just said I only saw died in a shooting.
Yeah. What happened was he's been having arguments with his neighbor for a long time. While he was gone, the neighbor came over, decapitated his dog, and
Fucking
and
Christ.
set his house on fire. And so he went over to confront him and got shot. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
God
heard stuff
damn.
that it's a lot less straightforward than that, but who knows? Like, it's been a while. There's so much going on about that I don't know what the actual proper term is.
That's straight up psychopath shit.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah, apparently him and his neighbor have like gotten into gunfights in the past before too and stuff.
Yeah.
Like some real Hunter S. Thompson type stuff.
But yeah, so I don't know this actual teaser. I don't know. Something feels off about it.
It's more modern day, and there's comes out in August, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just everybody aged up, more modern times. Mike Judge is still involved, which is good. Similar to
Yeah.
the Mel Brooks thing for Spaceballs too.
Yeah, I feel like
And-
with Spaceballs it was a less is more situation, but I'm also concerned that maybe Spaceballs won't live up to the hype, because there's a lot of hype with Spaceballs.
Yeah. I everything I've seen, Mike Judge just wants to make this a continuation. We're just, we're just fast forwarding time a bit, and yeah.
Yeah, but
So,
there was something off about the comedy. I'm not sure if I can put my finger on it, but that something just felt off about it.
Well, you can't just reveal all the jokes,
No, but the jokes that were revealed felt, I don't know, a little too forced.
Like the first joke is Hank giving the son a handshake instead of a hug because the son's an adult now.
No, that feels
like
totally.
But that's that's totally in character.
That's totally in character. I think the delivery was off, but yeah, you're right. That one's totally in character.
I'd have to see how it plays out in the show because we're obviously seeing only like a half-second snippet of that whole
snippets, and with different music than you'll actually get in the show. You might not get any music in the show, sort of thing. In which case,
Maybe.
it might play out differently.
Yeah,
Might feel different. But yeah, it's just something feels off about it.
I think the off feeling that you're having is just that everybody's older now.
No,
And
it had to do
also-
with how the jokes were delivered.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let me. Oh, like giving the Uber driver a 4?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of within Hank Hill's character. It's just, I don't know.
Maybe it plays differently in the show. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. There's something off. This teaser trailer is either showing issues or it feels off because of how they edited it.
Yeah, because the show is a very slow paced
Yeah, exactly.
show.
It could be
So
badly
it's-
cut. It could be bad sound editing. It could be bad. They picked the worst instance in certain situations. Like, I feel like Bobby's voice acting is kind of subpar.
It's the same voice, just like a fraction of an octave deeper. It's not.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the actual voice. I'm talking about the actual acting of it. It just feels subpar. It doesn't. It feels a little too by the script and not enough feeling.
I don't know. Young Bobby always had like those weird pauses and stuff. So it's like this is also taken out of the flow. Like the flow of the episode doesn't exist in a lot of these clips.
Yeah, like I said, it could be bad editing. I just don't think this. Did you poo? Yes, you did. I don't think that this specific cut is gonna be doing it any favors. Let's go change your diaper. I'll be back.
No. All right. Yeah. What I was gonna say about it is that it's hard to cut together a teaser trailer for a show like King of the Hill because the show's so slow paced. You end up losing. Well, I wouldn't call it slow paced. There's a lot of build up to everything that happens.
It's not as frenetic as some other animated comedies.
Yeah, or as this trailer is trying to make it seem. Like,
because like while it is an animated comedy, a lot of what happens in King of the Hill, especially like with the people, like the people in King of the Hill are treated like actual humans.
Yeah, it's
much more
of a
grounded.
sitcom. It's more of a sitcom than just like an animated show. Like between the handshake and the grilling thing, there's probably a good 4 or 5 minutes of like Bobby talking to his mom in the kitchen or something like that.
Yeah, unlike say, for example, Family Guy, just to off the top, it's like you don't see shit in King of the Hill where it's like somebody gets like horrifically injured and then like in the next scene they're fine. That's not the show that King of the Hill is. It's like if somebody were to get injured like somebody does in Family Guy, it's like we would see them like comatose in the hospital later.
It's a lot more deliberately paced.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
deliberately
it's
paced
animated, but this is treated like it's actually happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's treated like with physical characters in real life. And I wouldn't even call it the funniest show. I'd call it a funny show. Sitcom, you know. Like old school Roseanne.
I was just getting ready to say
Yeah.
Roseanne. Or it's just like it's kind of like animated Roseanne in some ways.
Yeah, it's just this little neighborhood and things that they go through. Roseanne was a great show.
Yeah. The finale was a mindfuck, though.
Yeah. Let's not focus on the finale. But like the main show itself, it dealt with like Roseanne having a gay boss and her just being like, okay, dude. It's like a lot of it was like, okay, dude. But it was like them dealing with all these situations.
Well, and also,
it was treated very real, with a lot of jokes intertwined within it.
Well, yeah, like Roseanne, actually, there were some episodes that showed a hell of a lot of maturity and storytelling and just like restraint and how things are presented. Like one of the ones that sticks out most in my mind is the episode where they find out that Jackie's been abused.
Yeah, when you were bringing that up, I was like, and Dan's just like, Jackie's being abused, and then he just grabs his jacket. I'm going out.
Well, it's even better than that. It's like he just he sees what's going on, and without a word, he just gets his jacket off the rack and walks out the door.
Yeah, gets his jacket, grabs his keys off the ring, and leaves.
And that leads to the joke later.
And then he comes back, and the cops show up later.
Well, no, it's like it's dark, but it's like it's one of the best jokes in the episode where Roseanne walks in. It's like, oh my God, Dan, don't tell me that you killed him and got chicken. And Dan's like, no, I got the chicken first.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's sort of like
when he comes, he's sitting there eating his chicken, his hands are fucked because he beat the hell out of that dude.
Yeah. And then, but that's sort of how King of the Hill plays out. Is kind of like
its pacing is a lot more deliberate than this teaser suggests.
Yeah.
And because this teaser is not showing.
Yeah, while you were gone, Rimshee, I'm like,
I 100%
sure.
I could hear.
Yeah, 100% sure. Bobby was having a talk with his mom in the kitchen before he went out to take part in the grilling and stuff.
Wouldn't surprise me, but like also Bobby. God damn it! God damn it, Bobby!
God damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
Bobby's a fucking like craft beer maker. Jesus fucking Christ, kid.
No. No, he's a chef. He's a cook.
Yeah, but it looks like he's also got a hobby doing microbrews.
Yeah, he's got a hobby doing microbrews and stuff because he moved to Austin or something. But he's like a renowned chef now. He's a professional cook. They haven't been very specific on what his actual job is, but he cooks food. Maybe
and
does
if you are a
beer on the side.
Well, that's the other thing. Is like if you are a chef, it's pretty common that you get into alcohol because food and alcohol pairings.
Yeah.
And you're probably depressed.
Yeah, but the whole original show was Bobby teaching his dad about how things are in modern day, while his dad's sort of instilling him with good values. That's a lot of what the show is.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen the show. I have to rewatch it.
I got my mom to watch a few episodes a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. It's one of those shows where, like, there are some things that just, it's not... We'll go with the... It's not as consistent as we'd like it to be. Some of the episodes are worse written than others, but that's just writing on a series.
So,
don't matter if you're talking live action, animated. As long as it's fiction, the writing is not going to be as consistent as you'd like.
Yeah. I also really liked the show because I grew up in a rural area, and like when I saw the show, I was like, "Oh, I know these people." Yeah, it was pretty cool for me to see the show and just be like, I am surrounded by all of these people, different variations of them for sure, but like,
it's just
these
like
are the types of people that I'm around.
It's like a lot of like rural people or like anybody who's like retired military, like a Dale Gribble, you just do.
Yeah,
you know that
may or may not be a Dale Gribble.
Yeah, I may or may not have been a Dale Gribble for a while.
Like, I love him to death, but like even my dad, my dear dad, has some shades of old Dale with some of the conspiratorial stuff he talks about.
And well, it's even smaller stuff like that, like Boomhauer. It's like, like this, and he just keeps going, and just going, and that's all he has to talk about. Knew so many people like that. They just sort of like hum their way through an entire paragraph, and
reminds me of Jeff Foxer. He's just like, now Southern as I am, it's like, do what? Were there any words in that?
It's all one word. It's all one word that really slow, and it just kind of has a little tone to it, and you just keep going on until you don't have anything else to talk about, and then you just say, all right, that's all there is to do about that.
And like, what's great is because it's like, no one ever questions it. Like, Boomhauer's friends, like, they all understand him. They never question what he's talking about. They don't need to hear him say it again. They just know.
I grew up around it. That like I know. Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, you develop an ear for that. It's like dealing with my younger brother. He cannot enunciate to save his life. He always talks like he's got some cylindrical object in his mouth. I can still understand him. Most of the time. Yeah, nice way too. Not only was it authentic frontier gibberish.
Yeah.
Bringing it right
Blazing
back
Saddles
around to
reference.
Mel Brooks.
All right.
Nice.
With that circle back,
Nice.
I think we've had a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you guys next week. Same time, same place.
Take care.
So, yeah.
Bye, everybody.